What we call aliens, what we call UFOs, unidentified flying objects, may not be what you think they are. And in this video, I'm going to show what we call aliens and UFOs may actually be demons and spiritual beings, as opposed to technology. But first, you are now within minutes of mystery, and in order to solve the puzzle within this video, I'm going to need you to hit that like button. With that being said, let's continue on with the video. No matter what people believe aliens or UFOs to be, there's always an interesting concept behind that belief. For example, if someone believes that aliens do not exist, that it's all in our imagination, then are we the only ones in this entire gigantic never-ending universe? And if so, why? Why are we the only ones here? That's even scarier than aliens existing. Now, I do want to state, and this is my own personal opinion, that UFOs and aliens are two different types of spiritual beings. These are two different types of demons. UFOs are not high-powered technology that aliens ride around in. Now, I will be giving multiple examples as to why I believe what I believe. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at the angels in the Abrahamic religions. Now, most people would believe that all angels are humanoid beings with wings on their back. And you wouldn't be mistaken for thinking so, as a lot of these angels do look like that. But there are three specific angels, the seraphim, the cherubim, and the thrones, that do kind of resemble vehicles, with the thrones looking like a mechanical orb, and a lot of UFOs have been reported to look like orbs. Now, the seraphim and the cherubim do look like flying beasts, but if you were a person back at that time, you would have no other way to describe what you're seeing other than a winged beast. Really, any person before the late 1800s, if they were to describe seeing a flying aircraft in the sky, they would pretty much describe it as looking like a flying monster. And that's what the seraphim and the cherubim look like, flying monsters, with the thrones again looking like to be the most mechanical type of aircraft. And then you have the 6 other angels described to having a more humanoid appearance. So that goes back to what I'm saying. If angels can have multiple different types of forms, what's to say that demons themselves can have different types of forms? Now, I'm not going to make this entire video about religion, as I know I have some of those watching who are not religious. So we are going to go all the way back to April 8th, 9th, and the 10th in 1904 to look at a man named Aleister Crowley. Aleister was an occultist, someone who practiced dark and sex magic, but he himself was not a Satanist. He did not worship Satan. Yet, in 1904, he stated through practicing dark arts, he conjured a demonic entity he called Lam, and this is what he described Lam to look like. In 1918, Aleister perfected a sex magic ritual called the Alma-Lantra, which opened a portal and summoned Lam, and after speaking to Lam, he believed the demonic entity was also an interdimensional being. Now, taking a close look at Lam, there's no mistake he looks exactly what a gray alien is described to look like. Now, you may say, well, Aleister just copied the description of gray aliens from the media, but not so fast. The first reported gray alien description was given by Barney and Betty Hill, who claimed to have been abducted by aliens in 1961. Over 50 years after the drawing of Lam, the concept of gray aliens didn't exist. Now, the type of sex magic that Aleister was supposed to have performed included human sacrifice. He did write about human sacrifice being very important in his occultic rituals. Is this why human sacrifice was so important to past cultures? And some can even say that human sacrifice is even happening today. And then we can take a look at a very recent event that happened in Varginha, Brazil. People all across the country of Brazil in Varginha in 1996 all described seeing a brown oily creature with red eyes who produced a strong odor. All these people also described this creature as having horns on its head. And it's not like there are just a pocket full of people that all say they saw the same thing. No, hundreds of people in Brazil all saw this creature, and they all were threatened by the military in Brazil if they did not get away from it or evacuate the hospital that it was taken to. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and do a whole deep dive as to what happened in Varginha, as I already made a video on the topic which I will link below. But just look at how this creature is described to look. And the people of Brazil said this creature had a very strong odor, and there are some people who have interacted with demons or have seen demons that have stated that they do give off a scent that they smell like sulfur. Now, I want you to listen to a call received by radio host Art Bell of a frantic man who also states what we believe are aliens are actually interdimensional beings, just as to what Aleister Crowley stated.
Hello, Art.
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
Discharged.
I started getting...
Well, this was certainly interesting. We are now on a backup system, everybody. A backup system. And that one caller that I had on the air, I guess we were about in the middle of his transmission, his telephone call, which was one of the strangest ones I've ever had. And the entire transmitting system by satellite went down here, and we were notified we were off the air. And it would appear to be from this end and some sort of massive transmit failure. So we are now using a backup system to be on the air. And not that I would normally believe this kind of thing, mind you, but I can't help but wonder if somebody zapped us in some way. We'll find out.
Now, the man did call back in sometime later saying it was all just a prank. But the man who called back in saying it was all just a prank sounded oddly different than the man who originally called in, who was hysterical over these interdimensional beings. Now, I will be doing a part 2 to this video, and the part 2 will be about UFOs. I do find UFOs, unidentified flying objects, to be a little bit more scarier than aliens, and I will give my reasons. Like I said, aliens and UFOs are spiritual beings, but they're a little bit different. Don't you find it a little bit odd? We're hearing news stories of UFOs and unidentified flying objects left and right in the media lately, but nobody really seeing aliens anymore. You may want to subscribe and stay tuned for that video, because what I have to say may make you think that what you're seeing in the skies may just not be technology after all. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and you want to see more, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.